want to take a moment to just say that that song, thank you all so much for the beautiful offering of that song, that was written by Amy Steinberg. You may have seen the citation on the initial screen, and Amy was supposed to be standing where I'm standing right now today. She was to be here not only to share her musical talents and gifts with us, but also the message and this third week of our fall series. And we shared last week that Amy lives in Asheville, North Carolina, and she needed to stay put with her partner. They're still processing, they're still moving through just the basic needs that are being provided to everyone in the area. And she wrote that song about a week ago about the experience. And we came upon that. We came upon that, and Reverend Jackie and she are good friends, and they've been in communication, and we immediately reached out and said, can we do this? Do you have a chart for this for our band? And she immediately sent it. And so there'll be another song that Amy has written later on in the service, but we just want to continue to hold her and every person she represents throughout this country that is going through the devastation that has been present these last couple of weeks and is going to be with us as we move through it for a fairly long time in the rebuilding process, and so that they know that our love is unending and we're holding her in our hearts this morning in a very special place. So thank you for that. All right, so before I go into the details of offering the message and meditation we're going to have today, I'd like to speak to those of you who are with us online in our balconies of YouTube and Facebook, so that you have time, if you need it, to gather a couple of things. We included a document in our e-news this past Friday, which was an outline, a sketch of a labyrinth. And so if you have not yet downloaded that or printed it out, please do so if you want to, and if you don't have the opportunity to do that, if you can grab a blank sheet of paper or even the palm of your hand will work just well as we enter into our experience this morning. And another part of our exercise is going to be that of authentically relating to another person. And so if there's not someone physically present with you as you're watching right now or sometime in the future, you might want to grab a photograph that might be in your home, or maybe just have your phone ready to text somebody when the time comes, or again, you can always just call people into your mind, into your heart, and move through the experience in that way. Okay, so we are in week 3 of our Fall Faith series for this year, which is Discovering Fire. It's based on the book, Discovering Fire, Spiritual Practices That Transform Lives, written by Roger Wolsey. Each week, we're delving into some of the 31 fires, the 31 spiritual practices that he offers in his book, and they are practices as a means towards experiencing that transformation that we want in our lives. Last week, Reverend Jackie shared some of the practices that focused on the teachings that are found in the Abrahamic traditions of Christianity and Judaism and Islam. And this week, in week 3, chapter 3, Mr. Wolsey offers a practice that he says blurs the lines and transcend the various traditions and lineages, with a focus on practices that foster stillness and physical activity. And right there in that one sentence, we are given what I think is the primary intention, not only for this week right now, but also for our ongoing processes of living being these embodied spiritual beings in this embodied spiritual journey and experience that we are creating. And the intention is one word: balance. The balance between being still and physical activity. The balance between doing and being. Now, if you've read ahead, you may already know that in this chapter 3, we're offered 13 fires, 13 spiritual practices for our discovery, or maybe a bit of a rediscovery, but all for our consideration. And I encourage you to take time to reflect upon each of them as they're written about and offered in the book. But for our time here together, I've chosen 5 of the practices that I believe interact really well with each other in the experience that our team has created to offer to you today. Now, this experience is one that's going to include four distinct parts They're going to give you opportunities to experience that ebb and flow of being still and of being physically active. You're going to have time to embrace yourself as that embodied spiritual being that you are, of feeling into that sweet spot in you where everything about you, whether it's your body, mind, soul, spirit, everything all at once tells you you're in that healthy balance. You've found that sweet spot. These chosen fires are going to give you time for yourself and time to interact silently with others. They'll give you the opportunity to honor the divine qualities that are present within you and also present in everyone else, a powerful reminder of that oneness that we share together. And they'll provide a space, if you want to set any individual intentions for your life that you may have been holding on to in your heart, and you're just feeling it today, that it is time to just affirm them, let them go, release them into the universe, put them prayerfully into action today. So you can see that the room and the lighting today has been set a little bit differently than usual. And the goal that we had was to create the feel of a mini labyrinth in the room. You know, as you look around the room, you can see that there's some gentle curves in and out of the seating that we have. That there is like a plus sign in the middle of the seating, right in the center where there are aisles that lead to the altar table, the sacred center that you find in a labyrinth. And the objects on that altar table today are personal items that I've brought in that are reflective of one or more of the 5 fires, 5 practices that we're going to be experiencing today. Labyrinth is one of those practices, and it's also going to be the foundational support for our entire experience. A second of the fires is that of grounding or earthing, a feeling connected to this beautiful planet that we inhabit. And so when we begin, you're going to be invited to start walking the labyrinth. And if you want to kick your shoes off to feel more grounded, feel free to do so. The next fire during the walk is that of solitude, a time just to be with yourself. And that'll be followed by an exercise called authentic relating, where you'll have the opportunity to, again, silently interact with another person. And then the 5th and the final fire for today is that of kirtan, or chanting. Reverend Fred and Pancho are going to be offering this beautiful chant while you will be given time to bless the experience that you will have had, offer any prayers you may wish to release to the universe, and it'll be a means to help bring the overall experience to a close. And so participate in this experience as you wish. If you do not want to walk, or if it would be difficult or not possible for you to do so, you can experience the entire thing from your seats wherever you might be. And if you are walking and you want to sit, go ahead and sit down anywhere. I'm going to guide you through each of the practices that we're going to be exploring today with some grounding words. And then Reverend Fred will be offering some beautiful underbedding music as you continue to have the experience as you walk around the room. And we're also going to offer both visual as well as auditory signals so that you will know that it's time that I'm going to segue us from one fire to the next. Okay? So let's begin. For those of you that would like to walk, just go ahead and start stepping out into the outer areas of around the perimeter of the chairs or in any of the aisleways that have been created. Just find a space wherever it is that you would like to begin your walk. However the movement unfolds is the way it should unfold. If you all end up in synchronicity, just walking in the same direction, that's fine. And if you're crisscrossing, going in opposite directions, that is fine as well. And for those of you online, if you have the labyrinth document or a piece of paper or the palm of your hand, you can just trace your path on it. And so take a moment to center yourselves, to just pause for a moment and center yourselves in your heart, to connect with Spirit as you know it to be. Pause to notice if you feel or receive or hear a specific intention. And again, feel free to stop, sit, pause as you are guided. And so a labyrinth is a walk with God. It's one that leads from the outer edge to a center. It is a spiritual tool meant to awaken us to the deep rhythm that unites us to ourselves and to the divine light of spirit that calls from within. It's a place where the soul finds healing and wholeness, connecting us to the depths of our souls so we can remember who we are. So as you walk, notice your breath. Notice the feelings in your physical body as you take each step. Feel into the intention you may have set and allow it to gently rest in your heart. And if there was no specific intention, perhaps a simple affirmation such as "Peace, be still," or "I am a child of God." Just simply open to the guidance and the wisdom of Spirit in you as you continue your walk with God. We're going to move on to our next spiritual practice, and just a reminder that you do not need to sit back down. The labyrinth is the foundational piece for the whole experience, and so I would invite you to consider continuing your walk around the labyrinth as we're experiencing each of the fires and practices that we follow. And so if you want to get back up again before I move on, that would be fine. You can continue walking or find a chair if you want. But as you get up, we're going to move into the practice of solitude. And so just find enough space between you and another person as you're walking or as you're sitting so that you can feel into the practice of solitude. Solitude is not always easy. Sometimes it's because our natures are more extroverted and we thrive from being around others. Sometimes we may fear the onset of loneliness and the misery that that might become. But however you have viewed it or felt about it to date, let this spiritual practice increase your capacity for times of solitude. Because theologian Paul Tillich once offered that loneliness is the pain of being alone. And solitude is the glory of being alone. The glory of being alone. And so as I paraphrase from our book, consider some of the ways you can experience this kind of glory. The glory of learning more about yourself, of growing and figuring out what inspires you. The glory of curating your own dreams, your own beliefs, your own stunning clarity. The glory of meeting people with whom you deeply resonate because you are so sure of who you are. So open to the glory that is for you as you take a few moments for a sacred walk, a sacred time of solitude. So we move on now to the fire, to the spiritual practice of authentic relating. And an exercise of this practice is that of eye-gazing, which I invite you now to experience. So if you are comfortable doing so, partner up with someone, and you can sit down, you could stand, but however you do it, make sure that you're just face to face. And this is an exercise, this is a spiritual practice done in silence. So for about 30 to 45 seconds or so, look, gaze into each other's eyes. Notice the presence of the person in front of you. Feel their presence in front of you. Become aware of how you feel in their presence. And at the end of your time together, offer each other a silent blessing. That could be in the form of a bow, or if mutually agreed, a gentle squeeze of each other's hands or a hug, or maybe just putting your hand over your heart and offering a smile. And then move on to another person and repeat the practice, and then another, and so on, until you see or hear our cue that will move on to the next fire. And so if you are online, you might want to pull out that photograph. Or if you want to send a text to someone in your life, maybe try doing it with just emojis so that you're not using words to express. Or just call people into your mind and notice how you feel about them and send them a blessing. And so we move into this time now of authentic relating. And from wherever you are, standing or seated, we're going to move into our final practice, that of kirtan and its element of chanting. The songs offered during kirtans are typically songs of praise. They're chants that often emphasize the divine qualities that are within us, the qualities of that one presence, that one power in the universe and in our lives. Qualities we are called to embody and also to express. The lyrics of chants are sacred, whether we understand the language they're in or not, and they are believed by many to bring unique vibrations that can be healing to both the body as well as the spirit. And so this is a time for you to breathe into all that you've experienced this morning, to bless it, all of it, because we know in truth, in spirit, it is all good. It is all good. And I'd like to suggest and invite you in this process that as you silently bring forth and release your prayers, that you do it intentionally to each of the 4 directional walls within the sanctuary. To the north, to honor the element of earth and the qualities of nurturance and strength. To the east, to honor the element of air and the breath of life. To the south, to honor the element of fire and its power of transformation. And to the west, to honor the element of water and movement in life. And then as you feel complete or you hear the music beginning to come down to its close, you can return to your seats if you are up on the pathways of the labyrinth. And so I'm going to invite Reverend Fred and Pancho to begin our chant. And I invite all of you, wherever you may be, to start creating your unique experience of closure and blessing of the experience that you have had.
It's all good to me. It's all good, it's all good. It's all good, it's all good. It's all good, it's all good to me. The earth is good, and the water's good, and the fire and wind, they're good. The sky is good, and the moon and the planet, oh, they're good. And all beings are good, and our bodies are good, and our mind and our spirit are good. It's all good, 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 it's all good to me. It's all good, 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 it's all good to me. It's all good, 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 it's all good to me. It's all good, 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 it's all good to me. It's all good, 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 it's all good to me. It's all good, 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 it's all good to me. It's all good, 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 it's all good to me. It's all good, it's all good, it's all good, it's all good, it's so good, it's so good to me. It's all good, it's all good, It's all good, it's all good, it's all good. It's all good to me. It's all good, 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 it's all good to me. It's all good, 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 it's all good to me. It's all good, 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 it's all good to me. And the good, it's all 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 good to me. It's all good, 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 it's all good to me. It's all good, 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 it's all good to me. It's all good, 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 it's all good to me.